again, like I said this evening, let us play our first track where I will be also giving you all the details. What we're going to be looking at this evening is the outcome of Chief Sunday Igbo's court appeal in Ibadan, where we do know that there's a lot that took place there. We're going to be listening to the legal perspective and what could be an outcome should this kind of case was operating in a different territory, if not Nigeria. All these I'll be reviewing, this evening, and also, why was people not allowed in? I've been able to listen to, the lawyer, and also heard his view that, in a court sitting, you do not have enough space, and that also means that, only few people will be allowed to come into, the court procession, as we can all say. But for now, this is my first track for the evening. I say good evening and welcome. It is Niger Voices on Star Radio UK. It is your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. We couldn't have done these without the, all our listeners. I'm going to be reviewing, the interview we had last week, with Chief Mrs. Kudirat Abiola. You're going to have opportunity to call in and you'll be able to tell us your view on what you heard from her last week, Wednesday. A lot of Yoruba people believe that, what has taken place, during the court case today is what we can call, again, the injustice. I heard the lawyer say that, the court or the government agree that Chief Sunday Igbo's house was invaded. But what they are saying is they disagree with what the lawyers are doing when it comes to the prosecution. Once again, I say good evening and welcome on Star Radio UK. Once again, a very good evening and welcome, to those of you that are also, there's a lot going on as well. There's a prayer going on. As usual, we like to appreciate, those that are in that prayer section. We had a 72 hours prayer as well, but this evening, it's all about Niger Voices on Star Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. Like I said, we're going to be reviewing everybody that couldn't understand. My producer was telling me that a lot of our listeners, watched the interview of Chief Mrs. Abiola Onitiri, Chief Mrs. Kudirat Onitiri Abiola last week. But not everybody could literally understand what she was saying. But this evening, I will be able to break it down, for you to understand everything she was discussing. Like I said, Niger Voices comes up every Wednesday, and this is a program that enlightens and educates millions of Nigerians all over the globe. And like I did say, for those of you that probably been joining, recently, I know a lot of our listeners that are from the Yoruba perspective that do not want to have anything to do with Nigeria has literally been telling me, we should change that name from Niger Voices to Yoruba Voices. But like I said, we still have to keep the Niger Voices for the time being. But for now, we would also continue to say that this platform, where we talk to a lot of the Yoruba people, will continue to be used to continue to educate our people that still disagree with the breakup of Nigeria, or if you want to use the word, the disintegration of Nigeria. That is our view, and that is the beauty of living in a democracy world, in a democratic world, as against Nigeria, where people cannot put on a Biafra outfit, people cannot put on, when it comes to when it comes to people cannot put on likewise the a Yoruba outfit as well. Once again, a very good evening and welcome to Niger Voices on Star Radio UK. There's a lot happening as well in UK, as you can imagine. Millions of people. When it comes to strike in UK, it does have a big impact. So this evening we're operating from the house rather from the studio. Remember to subscribe on Star Radio UK, on YouTube, on Facebook. Every Wednesday, the topic that we are looking at tonight is all about, the outcome of Chief Sunday Igbo's court case. It has been adjourned again. Do you think that we will get justice on that particular court case? I'm going to allow you to also call in so that we can hear your view. But for now, let's just continue with this. Every Wednesday is now 19 minutes past 6 p.m. This is how we take you home. We look at the traffic. We're going to be looking at the latest news that is coming out of Nigeria. We're going to be discussing the 2023 election. Do you think that election will hold in Nigeria? Have you been following the political parties? What is your take on all that? All that I'll be reviewing again this evening on Niger Voices on Star Radio UK. When it comes to, let's start going into the program because of the time constraint this evening, and there's a lot to discuss, and we haven't got all the time, this evening. And when we look at the issues in Nigeria, there's quite a lot of that. They're staggering, and you just have to imagine that, there's a lot of Nigerians that are hoping that one day things will become much better. And that means, their life, when you take the government to the court, you can get justice, and as some people believe that, justice would never be served in Nigeria because of the way the current situation of Nigeria is. Do you think that you can ever get justice in Nigeria? Are you of the view that justice can be served in Nigeria, and that means, everyone can, you can go to the court if you disagree. If you can all remember that almost a year ago, Chief Sunday Igbo's house, a Yoruba man, was invaded by the federal government of Nigeria. For those of you that are not from Nigeria, his house was, invaded. 2 innocent lives were killed. And after that, a lot has happened just after that. But what we can now say is Chief Sunday Igbo have decided to sue the federal government of Nigeria to court, which means the local court in the state where he lives before the incident of the attack. But the question then is, we know that Nigeria for a very long time does not and has never been a country that has the legal aspect that can defend the innocent citizens. I'm going to take us back to some memory lanes so that for those of you that are also of opinion that getting justice in Nigeria is a very, very difficult one. And the reason why I say it is a very difficult one is, let's take a look at the killings of some prominent Nigerians? And do you think that justice have been served? Let's look at, a Chief Justice of Nigeria, Bola Ige, Chief Justice of Nigeria, that was killed in his home. And up to date, we have not been able to get justice for him. Those that knows him very well knows him as a former governor of Oyo State. Chief James Ajibola Idowu Ige is also a senior advocate of Nigeria, simply known as Bola Ige. Was a Nigerian lawyer, a politician. He also served as the Federal Minister of Justice for Nigeria. He was murdered in his house on December 2001. He was born on the 13th of September 1930. And the question I'm asking Nigerians this evening on Naija Voices is, have we been able to resolve the death of Chief Bola Ige? Has anyone been punished for his death? So, should the situation that happened during the invasion of Chief Sunday Igbo's house have gone wrong, do you think that the federal government would have answered up and say that yes, we were involved and we actually went into Chief Sunday Igbo's house and kill him and kill others, and then they will have to take the responsibility? Do you think that that would have happened? Is a question I want to put in the minds of millions of Nigerians this evening. That should what happened at Chief Sunday Igbo's residence on the 1st of July 2021, should that has happened and it's gone wrong where Chief Sunday Igbo himself was killed, do you think that the federal government of Nigeria would have taken the responsibility for his death? I want you to put that at the back of it, because the reason why I'm saying that is, as we all know, up to date, no one has been brought to book when it comes to the death of Chief Bola Ige, or Uncle Bola as is known. He was a member of the People's Democratic Party as at the time he was murdered in his home. Until date, the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria have not brought anyone to book when it comes to the death of these men. Let's go back a little bit to some other prominent person that was killed. And I'm talking about Dele Giwa. Dele Giwa was also killed with a letter bomb. And the reason why I'm taking us back to this memory lane is for us to have a clear understanding that what took place on 1st of July 2021, should it have gone wrong that Chief Sunday Igbo was killed or murdered in that particular premises, are we going to ever know that the federal government that has now come up to say that, yes, we invaded his house, 2 people were killed? Do you think that the federal government would have answered up and say, yes, we invaded the house? The 2 bodies of those that were killed at Chief Sunday Igbo's house, as we speak right now, have not yet been returned back to the family. Dele Giwa was a Nigerian journalist. He was also an editor, the founder of Newswatch magazine. He was born on the 16th of March, 1947. He died on the 19th of October, 1986, a letter bomb from the current president as at the time, the military dictator, Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida. So if I receive a letter from Boris Johnson or anyone across the globe, and if the content of the letter lead to my death, who do you think will be point to? I want us to keep that in mind as well. Let's also look at Funshaw Williams. Funshaw Williams, as known as Anthony Olufunshaw Williams, was an influential politician from Lagos State and a former commissioner under the colonial Olagunsoye Oyinlola military administration in Lagos. He was born on the 9th of May 1948. Again, he was assassinated on the 27th of July 2006 at his Ikoyi Dolphin Estate in Lagos, Nigeria. Again, he was a party member to People's Democratic Party. The question today is, who killed Funshaw Williams? Has anyone been apprehended? Has anyone been pinned to the death of this innocent man? Again, should the federal government of Nigeria have killed Chief Sunday Igbo at his residence, would they take the responsibility that we did what happened on that fateful day? Do you think that the federal government of Nigeria would have taken the responsibility that we killed Chief Sunday Igbo should that have occurred on the 1st of July, just as the government have now agreed that yes, we invaded his house, we killed 2 innocent, but they do not want to agree to the damages of 20 billion 500 million naira that has been awarded to Chief Sunday Igbo. Once again, a very good evening and welcome to Star Radio UK. It is your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. We have been following the development from the Federal High Court, or the Appeal Court rather, in Ibadan, the southwest of Nigeria, this morning. And we saw how the whole event has been unfolding. There was no judgment today from the outcome of that court case. But what we can say is, do you think, as those that believe in the rule of law, that justice will be served? That is the question I want you to put at the back of your mind. My name is Olayomi Koiki, and you're live on Star Radio UK for the finest African. You can also remind me people that have been killed in Nigeria. Should you remember their names? I would like to know. So if anyone remember anyone that I've missed, you can also remind me so that we can review that together. But I want us to continue to ponder our mind and ask these boiling questions. Why were those individuals that I mentioned? I'm going to take us a little bit back as well to a prominent woman that was also killed. We all know her as a woman that fought for freedom. I'm talking about the one and only Funmilayo Ransome-Kuti. Chief Funmilayo Ransome-Kuti, also known as Funmilayo Anikulapo Kuti, was a Nigerian educator, a political campaigner, a women's rights activist. Funmilayo Ransome-Kuti was born in Abeokuta in Ogun State, Nigeria, and was the first female student to attend Abeokuta Grammar School. That's the school I actually went through. As an Axoba, we continue to remember a lovely soul. She was born on the 25th of October, 1900, just before the 1914 amalgamation of the British that we are all now saying, for those of us that believe in the total dissolution, disintegration of Nigeria, and that is our view. And we must also respect the view of those that still believe in one Nigeria, but we must educate her. Somebody's also telling me that she was the first woman to drive a car in Nigeria. I said, thank you so much, Mr. Tunji Awofeso, as we continue to review the update and the outcome of the court case of Chief Sunday Igbo at the Appeal Court today. You're listening to Niger Voices on Star Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. My name is Olayomi Koiki. I'm asking the question again for the benefit of those of you that are listening to me this evening. We've been told that unknown soldier visited her. Until date, nobody, no one has been apprehended for her death. So my question to those that still believe in one Nigeria is, do you think that justice has been served since the death of Chief Funmilayo Ransome-Kuti? I'm going to take us back again to a very prominent woman that was also murdered by the then late Sani Abacha. And the question is, when are we ever going to get justice? Should we remain in Nigeria? Do you think that there will be justice? I'm just asking the question. The late Kudirat Abiola stood for justice, fought against election fraud. Kudirat was the wife of the philanthropist and acclaimed winner of the 1993 presidential election, Chief MKO Abiola, that himself was also killed by the same system. Till date, nobody has taken the responsibility of the death of Chief MKO Abiola. For those of you that are not from Nigeria, last week, our guest on the program was wife to the late Chief MKO Abiola. And you can see the reason why she has so much passion and the reason why she totally believed that as the Yoruba people, the indigenous people, we are better off out of Nigeria. Once again, it's coming up to 34 minutes past. I've been giving us background to death of innocent Nigerians that have been killed by one way or the other that have the hands of the federal government in it, be it the military dictator of the time or the current one or the previous ones. The late Chief Kudirat Abiola, a woman, was assassinated in 1998. And the question is, should the government of the APC, President Muhammadu Buhari, have killed Chief Sunday Igbo on the 1st of July? Will they take the responsibility, or will be told again is unknown gunmen and we're probably trying to unravel his death? Because the government have also been able to tell us that yes, we visited his house, but they've refused to agree to the payment that the court has awarded Chief Sunday Igbo. And that is why I am asking the question this evening to the benefit of all our listeners from around the globe. That do you think that justice will be served based on the... Somebody is reminding me, thank you, Prince Adam, that Chief Kudirat Abiola was killed at 7-Up Junction. And that assassination has a link to the late death of Sani Abacha. So when we say that Nigeria as a country has failed millions of Nigeria, the question then is, should we continue to be part of Nigeria? Once again, a very good evening and welcome on Star Radio UK. My name is Ola Yomi Koiki. This is the program that has been coming on air for the last 5 years. I know a lot of our listeners that are from Yoruba, which I believe as well, that as a Yoruba person, there is no wrong in having our own nation. But I know some of you have requested that we review, being called Niger Voices. But remember, that we're still also speaking to millions of Nigerians that disagree with the total disintegration of Nigeria. But the views will be heard on this platform about our concern, be it the Biafra, be it the Yoruba, as against not allowing that in Nigeria today. And that, again, is a concern to some of us. Because as a journalist, for benefit of our listeners, you will not be allowed to talk about self-determination on any of the radio program in Nigeria, because the government believes that that is going to open the minds of millions of people. But in United Kingdom, people have been given opportunity to decide their fate. And what fate are we talking about? When British were given the chance to determine their fate by whether they still want to be part of this so-called union of the European Union. And in 2016, there was a vote, and millions of the Brits decided that they do not want to be part of European Union. But in Nigeria today, I've been told that we can't lose our identity. We are Yoruba first before Nigeria. But a lot of Nigerians still respect that they still want to be part of Nigeria. And that is why I would enjoy you to go and watch a film that I watched over the weekend while I was in Manchester. It was a very beautiful outing, and I send my greetings to everyone that joined us on that trip, whether through the online conversation, whether you join us, from your comfort bedroom, as a lot of you watch us on different platforms, especially those that have the means. Good evening, as you're all joining. I want you to go and watch Rise, Row, and Revolt. It's a very powerful film. Rise, Row, and Revolt. I want millions of you that are watching me tonight to take your time. Should you have opportunity to have Netflix, I want you to go and watch it. It will tell you everything that you need to know, just as Bigger Than Africa will do the same as well. Some of you have been able to watch Bigger Than Africa, but some of you have not been able to. That is a documentary that I will want many people to watch. And if you have the time, I also want you to go watch The Journey of the African Colony. The journey of Africa colony. And again, another very powerful documentary. All these documentaries will give you, if truly there will be justice in Nigeria, it's called. Let's go back to the case of Chief Sunday Igbo. Who is Chief Sunday Igbo? Chief Sunday Igbo, popularly known as Sunday Igbo, popularly known as Sunday Igbo. A lot of people are from that part of Yoruba land known as Igbo. So he's actually bearing the name of his town. He's a Yoruba man, a philanthropist, a businessman, and humanitarian concern of his people as a whole, and also those that are not from the Yoruba tribe. For the benefit of our listeners that are not from Nigeria or Yoruba, Chief Sunday Igbo, popularly known as Sunday Igbo, was born on the 10th of October 1972. He's a Nigerian Yoruba self-determination activist, a philanthropist, nicknamed after his hometown. What more could you get? If I was meant to be called Ijebu-Ode as my nickname, or you called a town after you. He rose to fame following his role in Modakeke Ife communal crisis in 1997, where he played an active part. He was once involved in politics, just as so many of us have been involved in politics one way or the other. Even in your own comfort home, you do play politics among your children. I was asking my son this afternoon why he had to pay 19 pounds to go on Uber on a journey that should have cost him 7 pounds. And after reviewing what he said, I have to take a look at it again. Like I said, Uber took advantage of the strike in UK today to increase the fare because every part of England have been on total lockdown because of the strike. And that's again where private sector take advantage of the public sector, because the rail industry is meant to be public serve. So when people say that Igboho was a politician, he served them, he worked with them, but he's now saying that he wants to be part of a system that works. What is wrong in that? There's nothing wrong in that. Just as Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the leader of the Biafra, again, Nnamdi Okwa Kanu is a British Nigerian, a political activist who advocate for the self-determination and the independence of Biafra from Nigeria. He's also the leader of the indigenous people Biafra. He was born September 25th, 1967 at the age of 54 from Abia State. And as of today, his only crime to the federal government of Nigeria is he does not want to be part of Nigeria and he wants to live peacefully. But Nigeria, being what it is, does not want anybody to go peacefully. So Nnamdi Kanu, for those of you that do not know him, was kidnapped, rendition back to Nigeria. Again, for a reason known to this government. If I take you back to the 80s, the same current president, Muhammadu Buhari, wanted to kidnap Umaru Diko. I'm still reviewing these to link it back to, do you ever think that there will be justice served on the current case should we get the judgment for Chief Sunday Adeyemo Igboho? Do you think that there will be a complete judgment served for the invasion of his house on the 1st of July 2021? And not just that alone, animals were killed. You would dare not kill a cat in this country. Should you do so, you would have to pay an heavy price for that. But because Nigeria is what it is, animals are already not valued, not to talk about human beings. Animals do not have any value. At 7 o'clock, I would open the phone line for about half an hour to get your view and your perspective on the latest outcome as we have it on Chief Sunday Igboho's case. And that will be in about 15 minutes from now. All these have taken you through. I want us to continue to pound out in our heart that, do you ever think that there will be justice served? As we are asking in the current situation of Nigeria. Young military officer from the southern killed in an aircraft during Ibrahim Babangida regime. Thank you so much. Somebody is also reminding me of one of the latest criminality that you can ever think will never happen. I'm talking about the EndSARS in Nigeria. What is the EndSARS? EndSARS is a decentralized social movement and series of mass protests against police brutality in Nigeria. The slogan calls for disbanding of the special anti-robbery squad that has killed innocent Nigerians both in the southeast, the southwest, the northern part of the country, and the middle belt. But there was something that took place called the Lekki toll gate. I'm going to talk about the Igbo as well. As of today, the government is still denying that they never visited the scene, even with evidence. Some of those involved had to run away for their life. Somebody like DJ Switch, she literally had to be taken out from the back door so that the government do not kill her. DJ Switch was one of those that was almost killed during the Lekki tollgate massacre. This happened not in the 60s, in the 70s, in the 80s, in the 90s. This happened on a broad day, October 20, 2020. In Lagos, not in Kaduna, not in Anambra, not in Oyo State. This happened in the presence of security that went in and killed Nigerians. And the question again is, should the federal government have assassinated Chief Sunday Igbo? Will they take responsibility for those that invaded his house? Is a question I'm asking, trying to get answer. Once again, this is Star Radio UK. Remind me of as many people that have been killed. For those of you that are listening to us this evening on Star Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. I'd like to say thank you so much to my producer, Mr. Frank David, and also Archie and the rest of the team. Tomorrow is the Property Hour. Make sure you tune in, and I will be back again at exactly 11 o'clock, should time permit, tomorrow for more headlines and updates. We appreciate those of you that are listening to us on all the platforms this morning, this evening, and we say good evening and welcome to Star Radio UK. So, if innocent Nigerians were massacred at Igbo in Rivers State, the killings, till date, nobody has been penalized. Innocent Igbo were massacred in their hundreds, and as I speak today, nobody is taking the responsibility. The military is denying, the governor is denying, the chairman is denying, the House of Rep is denying, the senator is denying. Why is it that the government are always denying? I've been reminded that Tolulope Arotile was killed. Just in former Ekiti State Chief Pharmacist Israel Bamishaye kidnapped in Ori, Ekiti. So many kidnapping cases in Nigeria, and yet the military do not have the might. Once again, we welcome you as you are all joining the broadcast this evening. Today is the 22nd of June, 2022. My name is Olawumi Koiki. We're just an hour into the program. Our conversation is still on Chief Sunday Adeyemo Igboho. And the question again is, do you believe that there will be justice? Yes. DJ Switch, our hero during the EndSARS, just as Ifeoluwa Lady K, Ifeoluwa, known as Lady K, for those that knows her, she's our hero on the 1st of July. She raised the alarm that saved the lives of Chief Sunday Igboho and the rest of the individuals in that residence, apart from 2 innocent lives that the federal government assassinated in that house in a cold-blooded way. We will continue to pray and appreciate Lady K, as she's known, or Ifeoluwa. She saved the day. At 2 o'clock in the morning, there was gunshot, heavy gunshot. Mrs. Rukaya said, yes, there will be justice for Chief Sunday Adeyemo by God's grace. African Confidential said, there better be justice or that entire court of appeal will be turned upside down. It was a very heated day for those of us that followed everything that took place at Ibadan today. It was very, very heated. I was even having a lot of calls from around the globe if we can control the situation. But for how long are we going to control the situation with all these individuals that I've named? And that's the reason why I have to take us a little bit back to those that have been murdered, killed, assassinated, bomb letter, and all these has occurred in the last 62 years of Nigeria. I've not even touched about, some heavy military aircraft, Ejigbo, that, many brilliant officers were murdered in what we can call the hands of the federal government. So those that still believe in one Nigeria, do you think that all these will resolve after 2023? Do you think that after 2023, according to you, that an election will solve all issues? Once again, a very good evening and welcome to Niger Voices on Star Radio UK. It is your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. My name is Olayomi Koiki, and I welcome you all as you have all joined the program. In just about 6 minutes, I would open the phone line just to give us an opportunity for the benefit of our listeners to also hear from you. Then at 7:30, I'm going to review part of what we heard from Chief Mrs. Modupeola Onitiri Abiola. But before going into that, I'm going to now allow us to listen to the short interview that was granted by Chief Sunday Igbo's lawyer. I'm talking about the one and only, the SAN, Yomi Aliu. SAN Yomi Aliu, that represented Chief Sunday Igbo at the court today. While we are getting that audio ready, I'm asking, based on our topic this evening on Niger Voices, the outcome. Are we going to see justice served for the government invading an innocent house where innocent Nigerians were killed? My name is Olayomi Koiki, and I would like to say thank you so much to those of you that have joined us this evening. While we're getting that ready, there's quite a lot of background noise, but bear with us. You will be able to enjoy what the lawyer says in this short interview. The interview was done in English and likewise in the local language for those that do not understand Nigeria language, the Yoruba language rather. A very beautiful language. And that was the language that was used to communicate when we had our guest last week. But at 7:30, I would try to summarize part of what she said during that interview we granted her. Like I said, there was quite a lot of noise at the background, but you will hear the lawyer speak.
Today in court, we had preliminary objection that we filed that caused some legal arguments the last time. But what we did was we amended our respondent's brief to bring in a preliminary objection, and it was accepted by the court today, and the appeal was argued. We argued the appeal, and the appeal was adjourned for judgment on a date to be sent to us by the court. That's what happened today. We argued the appeal.
So what's the basis for their own appeal?
Their own appeal is that they said Sunday's case brought under fundamental human rights that should have been ordinary trespass. So trespass to his house, trespass, that's what they said it should be. But we said invading somebody's house, killing somebody there who is nothing than infraction of his fundamental human rights.
So the case has been adjourned
for judgment. It's now judgment, not ruling. Judgment of the court of appeal.
Ó dà ní Yorùbá sá, ẹ jẹ́ kí àwọn ìmọ̀ bisọ̀rọ̀ dé dúró lórí ìgbẹ́jọ́ lọ́wọ́ nípa olóyè Sunday Igbo.
Ẹ di pé láti fi jẹ́ mẹ́ta láti wà lórí appeal yìí. Àwọn ìjọba àpapọ̀ DSS wọ́n péjọ kò tẹ́mi lọ́rùn lẹ́yìn tí àwọn náà pàdé ìdojúkọ wọn wípé ẹjọ́ wa ní ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ńlẹ̀ ó sì wà lábẹ́ ẹ̀tọ́ ọmọnìyàn kò sí tó bá lọ ju ẹ̀tọ́ ọmọnìyàn lọ. So lẹ́yìn ìsìn pẹ̀lú akin ẹgbẹ́ mi tó wà ní ọwọ́ ọ̀tún mi àtàwọn pípọ̀ lásọ pé SAN àjọ ṣe àpìlì lẹ́yìn wọ́n gbé àpìlì wọn wá wọ́n ní kí wọ́n dẹ ẹjọ́ rẹ̀ tó ṣe ń sàlẹ̀ àwa náà dẹ́gbẹ́ lọ sílẹ̀ pé ẹjọ́ tó ṣe ń sàlẹ̀ wọ́n fi fún ní 20 billion tó gbèrò tó wà bẹ́ẹ̀ lẹ́nu.
Tíjọba bá ní pé àwọn pẹ̀lú kò tẹ́ mi lọ́rùn kí ni wọ́n ní kò tẹ́ wọn lọ́rùn gan-an lọ́jọ́ tẹ̀ pé.
Kò ṣeé ṣe kán ní kéèyàn lọ san 20 billion kò mọ 20.5 20 billion 500 million kí wọ́n á sọ pé òun bá kàn gbà bẹ́ẹ̀ tá a bá sọ ọmọ kékeré ní kò láwùjẹ dandan ni pé kò pariwo ta tó bó ṣe rí nù.
Kí wàá ní ìtẹ̀síwájú lórí ọ̀rọ̀ báyìí ṣé wọ́n ti
tẹ̀síwájú ni pé ìjọ tí wọ́n máa dájọ́ yẹn wọ́n ti fọjọ́ náà síwájú àti bàbá wípé pẹ̀lú àdúrà gbogbo èèyàn Ọlọ́run á ṣe ìyanu.
Ṣé wọ́n sọjọ́ yẹn nípa àṣọ bóyá ó gbà
gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ sọjọ́ náà pé sọjọ́ náà bá kú ọ̀la wọ́n á sọ fún wa pé ọ̀la ni ìgbẹ́jọ́ yóò ẹ máa bọ̀.
Ó dàbí káwọn èèyàn olùkọ́ àtẹ̀tẹ̀ ṣojú fún sa.
Orúkọ mi ni olóyè Yomi Aliyu SAN, ìkejì mi ni amòfin Dípọ̀ Ọlásọpé SAN àti àwọn ìsọ̀ǹgbé wa náà.
Well, that is the legal representative of Chief Sunday Igbo that you've just heard there. For those of you that are listening to us this evening on Star Radio UK, Niger Voices. We're going to open the phone line, like I said, just for half an hour. And the number that you will call in so that we can be able to get, what do you think of this case so far? Kílẹ̀rù sí ibi tí ẹjọ́ dé fáǹfààní èèyàn ọmọ káàárọ̀ oòjíire. The number to call is +44 74 04405917. We want to take maybe 5 callers and then we continue with the program. I want to get your view. Mo fẹ́ gbọ́ látọ̀dọ̀ tẹ̀yin náà. Number tẹ́ máa láǹfààní àti pè. Please do not talk about any other thing. Be mindful of your words because we are transmitting to different platforms and this is not my own personal platform. I hope you all understand that. The only thing you will be allowed to speak on is the case that we've talked about. Nothing more than that. No other question about any other areas. Until we want you to talk about those areas, we will let you know. So if you think that you want to add 1 or 2 things to what you've listened to what you've witnessed, what you've heard, because some people have witnessed what has happened, because we have a lot of people that have more information than maybe what we have. The question is, do you think that there will be justice on this particular case when we finally get the full result coming out of the federal government? So I'm going to allow 2-3 calls and then we're going to move on. But while we're waiting for those calls, we will continue with the program. The lawyer talked about fundamental human rights. And I want us to go and look at what do we understand fundamental. The first thing is, what is the meaning of fundamental? When the word fundamental is used, fundamental. By that, forming a necessary base or core of central importance. The protection of fundamental human rights and interpretation of evidence is fundamental to the historian craft. Fundamental human right. So is the government saying that bringing them to court was a wrong move? So is the government expecting that you would go in the middle of the night when people are sleeping without no search warrant, without no identification of who you are? Because nobody knew who these assassination machineries that was brought in, because they did not identify who they are. They came in while people were sleeping. Some were still awake because it's always a very busy house. The sound of the machine gun was buffering through almost every part of the building. And I will give us of those sound as we have it on our archive. I'm talking about the sound of how our own Moremi of our time that I talked about earlier. Let's hear what she has to say then. Pass information, everybody what's a lot. I want warrior, keep what's a lot. I want to buy my move anywhere. For the benefit of those that do not understand the local dialect that she's speaking, that is a beautiful language known as Yoruba. She was giving us detailed account of how the invasion was taking place July 1st last year, when the federal government of Nigeria and the APC government wanted to kill Chief Sunday Igbo. She went live from our Facebook account, giving us narration in details, and we can also hear the sound coming as well. Once again, this is Star Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. And I hope a lot of you are also following us on our social media handles on Star Radio UK. Let's hear more from the eyewitness of the day. I'm talking about the one and only Ifeoluwa Lady K. She was giving us the account details, the narration of what she can hear from inside a bedroom. She did make that point clear that these are Nigerian soldiers. We've always been told that they are unknown gunmen as they are massacring, killing so many people. This is taking place in the southeast of Nigeria today. So many killings, but they've labeled them as unknown gunmen. But there's nothing known as unknown gunmen. These are federal government agents that kill innocent Nigerians. Mansuru said, I believe justice will prevail for CSI because it is every gross violation of human rights and evidence is clear. They have not even denied it, which is a good thing. And that is why I said, should the government have been able to kill Chief Sunday Igbo in his house on that fateful day, Will the government take responsibility, or are we going to be told it's unknown gunmen? The government already agreed that, yes, we attacked his house. They already agreed that 2 people were killed. But what they do not agree is the fundamental human right of Chief Sunday Igbo. So if the federal government, known as the APC, some call them Al-Qaeda People's Congress. I don't know what name you call them, but I call them part of the criminal activities that has killed the economy of Nigeria. Security is no longer safe. People were killed in a war. And we already have part of our team that have traveled down to Owo. I'm going to be showing you those images that is just shooting out. And we will continue to remember these individuals that were killed during a church service. So what you're looking right now are images of innocent Nigerians that were massacred at the killing in Owo. Children were killed. And the question is, should the government have killed everyone in that house? If Lady K has not gone live, do you think these images you're looking right now were all pictures uploaded this afternoon for killings of those that died at Owo, the St. Francis Catholic Church, where more than 200 innocent lives were lost? Once again, a very good evening. Let's come back and listen a little bit more to what Ifeoluwa, known as Lady K, was telling us on that fateful day when Chief Sunday Igbo's house was invaded by the Nigerian federal government. You heard him there again. She specifically said it. This video alone is evidence that the federal government cannot deny that they never went there. Even the satellite image shows that the federal government machineries were at that particular location, just as evidence also indicate at the Oyigbo and just as the Lekki toll gate. At first, the federal government denied that they never went to Lekki toll gate to kill innocent Nigerians. But there was one particular person that saved the day, just as it looks like it's our women that are saving us from the massacre, just as Lady K saved us on the 1st of July. On the 20th of July, DJ Switch, she's a DJ. She was even labeled as someone as the enemy of the state. 200 people were killed. Mass burial has been done for them, but the government is also denying that only 40 people died at Owo. And our team have been able to visit the church, and these are images that have been sent to us this evening. People are still mourning. A young baby was brought in. Look at that. It was not just a terrorist attack. It was crime against humanity. We will remember everyone that died in that massacre in Owo. All these are latest images that have been sent to us from our team that traveled there this evening. Once again, it is Star Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station. Let's listen a little bit more to Lady K. She was crying out that we must come to their rescue. You would expect that when terrorists attack you, the government will be the one to send in security. But that's the reverse in Nigeria, for those that are not from Nigeria. If you get kidnapped, you have to pay ransom in the tune of millions of naira. If you get kidnapped, there is no rescue for you. But she was calling everyone that could hear on that fateful day, because nobody knew whether they will come out alive from the sound of the gun, which we're going to listen to now. Again, she mentioned that these are Nigerian military, and the government today, based on the court case that is ongoing, have not denied that they did not went to Soka, where Chief Sunday Igbo lived, and killed 2 innocent Yorubas. She talked about the timing, which is very, very key. She said, this is, I'm just translating to the benefit of our other listeners that are not Nigerians. She said that this is 2 a.m. or some few minutes to 2 a.m. So that indicates that evidence points that the federal government of Nigeria and the APC were at that particular house without no denial, even though it took hours and hours before the federal government came out with their statement. And all they could say was they had evidence that the house was being used to stockpile weapons. And my question is, if a house is being stockpiled of weapons, the expectation is that the government will visit that house or that premises during the day with a search warrant, and they have the right to look at every part of the building. But they came at middle of the night for one mission only, to eliminate everyone in that premises. But the day was saved by the grace of the Almighty Eledumare, for those that would like to use that word. 15 minutes past 7 p.m. Should Lady K have not gone live on that fateful day, what do you think would have happened? Because everybody's mobile phone was taken away. But she was able to give us 12 minutes, 7 seconds video detailing everything that was present, happening from the sound of what was taking place. And the government today have not denied that. So the question is, do you think that the technology today has been able to save the lives of everyone on the 1st of July? Do you think that the technology that DJ Switch was able to use, because she was live as well on her Instagram page when the federal government came and wanted to kill everybody? A lot of people died during the Lekki toll gate. A lot of people died during the Oigbo. Has the technology been able to save us is the question. And that is why the federal government wants to control the current social media in Nigeria, because that is the only tools that Nigerians have been using to voice out. Nigerians have been using as a kind of an engagement. Once again, a very good evening and welcome. And let's go back and listen more to the grace of Eledumare on that day. Again, she gave details that account of gunshot has been going on continuous for 10 minutes. And this is like, a kind of what you would talk about, that knowing that people were living and sleeping in that premises, the government went ahead and gave the order, just as order was given to kill anyone they could find during the death of Funmilayo Ransome-Kuti, just as Babangida sent a letter bomb and that killed Delegiwa, just as the government killed Tolulopa Rotile because she was used and dumb, just as the Chief Justice during the tenure of Obasanjo died, just as Funshaw Williams, that also has link to Tinubu, died. So the question is, where is the justice for an average man in Nigeria today? Where is the justice? And that is why those that believe in the self-determination, the indigenous people, where we're going to be discussing and reviewing part of what Mrs. Kudirat Abiola said last week, Wednesday. That is going to come up in just about 12 minutes. I'm going to review back some of what she said for the benefit of those that could not understand anything she said during that interview. The interview was very powerful. Over 100,000 people have watched that clip. You can still watch it on Star Radio UK YouTube channel or Facebook. Have you subscribed to our Twitter account on Star Radio UK? If you haven't done so, you can do so today. You can also join me Monday to Friday if you're just listening for the very first time on Star Radio UK when I give updates on Nigeria. We will give all the latest news and update on the political side of things at about 8 o'clock. So quite a lot to take in today. So as we are going to be winding down on the issue and the outcome of Chief Sunday Igbo's court case, I would be also telling those that are watching us on Olayomi Koiki Instagram to now join KOIKIMEDIA on Instagram so that you can continue to watch the program. Once again, a very good evening and welcome to Star Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now let's play a little bit more from this.
To confirm,
You hear that? She wanted to make sure that she got the confirmation right before she went live. And that confirmation has indicated that the federal government has admitted at the court that yes, we visited, killed, damaged the house of Chief Sunday Igbo, but we are not ready to pay 20,500,000,000. Good evening and welcome to Star Radio UK at past 7 p.m.
Wrong information. I want Nigeria show Johnny.
She continued to mention that these are Nigerian soldiers, but when the late Funmilayo Ransome-Kuti was killed, all we were told was they are unknown soldier, unknown soldier. If you remember Fela Anikulapo Kuti's song, Unknown Soldier, who killed my mama, unknown soldier, who killed my mama, unknown soldier. But this time around, we know that they are not unknown soldier because we have the evidence to prove that. Again, she's giving us the details that there are so many of them because they can see them from the CCTV camera. The government took off the memory on those CCTV. And if the government would like to disagree with me this evening, let us have access to the camera storage device that you took away. Why did you remove all the camera's memory card? Because you could not wait for us to use that. But one thing is, this 12 minutes, 7 seconds video was already on air, and there's no way the government could pull it down. Rather, Lady K paid an heavy price, and we can only be grateful to her. Just as DJ Switch has now run away for her life, living in a safe place outside Nigeria because, according to the federal government, she's an enemy to the state. Lady K paid an heavy price. 4 months and some few days she spent in the custody of the DSS. Just as Mazinam Dekano is paying the heavy price, just as Chief Sunday Igbo was pinned down for 7 months in Benin Republic. The question to those that still want us to keep one Nigeria is, do you think that one Nigeria is going to work? We're going to leave that video, or those of you that are listening to us on Star Radio UK, I will leave that audio alone for now and come back to you right here again. As I'm going to be reviewing a bit of what we heard from the death of, bear with us, quite a lot of movement, especially because we're streaming on so many multiple platforms. That's the beauty of technology. Somebody said, Nigeria is dead already. We need our Yoruba nation now. Somebody say, you Nigerian government, as you kill MK Abiola and Awolowo, also Bola Ige, you cannot kill Chief Sunday Igbo. Most of Yoruba leaders, you run mad. Wow, that's a very heavy one there. I will continue to read your comment as I have them. Continue to get your message in. I will be reading them as well for those of you that keeps the comment coming. 7:23, as we are now pushing towards more area of the conversation. God forbid one Nigeria, Lekki, Blessing Mary says, may Nigeria never happen to you. Let us remember that these are innocent people that went to church some 3 weeks ago Sunday, and they never knew that they would not make it back home. They were all killed in a terrorist attack. May their soul continue to rest in peace. And the government has failed every single one of them and their loved ones. May Nigeria never happen to you, is what we say. As we continue to look at the issues, I would like to appreciate everyone that have joined us this evening. As we appreciate those that are also praying for us, we say thank you so much. Once again, quite a lot is happening in Nigeria. And like I always say, may Nigeria never happen to any one of us. If Nigeria happened to you, you would have to pay the heavy price for that. These are our mothers, aunties that Nigeria happened to. She's just only 38 years old. Late Mrs. Oluchi Eva was only going to the church on the fact that she wanted to serve God. But the terrorists in Nigeria killed her, and she could not survive age 39. She was only 38 years old. The same way that you want to prosper, you want to become somebody, may Nigeria never happen to you. And that is why I am saying this evening, do you think that Nigeria will survive 2023? Let's look at another young Nigerian man, 37 years old, again passed away at the event of the church that took place again in Nigeria, where life does not matter. Nigerian life does not matter. And that is why we are now asking the question, do you think it is worth dying for Nigeria? On the 5th of June, 2022, being a Sunday at our church massacre in Ondo State, Southwest Nigeria, our brother, our father, our uncle, Chief Afon-Bonus Okafor, was killed by the terrorists in the church. He's not the only one that died. We also can confirm that Chizoma Bright, his son, also died during that massacre. The question is, where was the government to protect these beautiful souls? Why has the government not been able to protect them? It's a question that is still in my mind, but we can't get answer to it. Nigeria ranked the worst corrupt nation on earth, second to Bangladesh, according to the 2007 Transparency International Corruption Perception Index. I say good evening and welcome to everyone that have joined us. Gone too soon, Mrs. Teresa Ogbu, a 51-year-old, was also killed on that fateful day. My question to those of you that say Nigeria will still survive, I'm asking, are you sure that Nigeria will survive 2023? Do you think that Nigeria will survive 2023? How sure are you that the 2023 Nigeria will survive it? Because with all this evidence that we are putting out every day, whether on the Star Radio UK, whether on other platforms, the question is, do you think that Nigeria will survive 2023? And what gives assurance that PVC can solve all this crime against humanity? What gives you that evidence? What gives you that assurance that what we are witnessing in Nigeria today, all this crime against humanity, will be resolved by peace? Because if you look at the amount of innocent lives that have been killed in Nigeria today, you would ask the question, is it still worth dying for Nigeria? And if it's worth dying for Nigeria, on what ground? Because Nigerians are now tired of all the killings, the massacre, the crime against humanity that has occurred continuously in Nigeria today. But some Nigerians disagree with people like us and say it is just temporary measures. Things will get better. Do you think that things will get better? Do you think that there will be changes in Nigeria and people would continue to matter? What is your take on that? I want to hear from you. Let's come back to the conversation. It's now 7:30, and like I promised all our listeners that I would give a proper update what our mother spoke about last week when it comes to Sunday. Kudirat, our mother said it is Yoruba nation that can solve this problem. Talk by Adebayo. I'll read more comments that is coming on Star Radio UK. So if you're listening to us, why not join us on Star Radio UK every Wednesday from 1800 hours to 8:30 thereabout. My name is Olayomi Koiki, and I welcome you all on the program. Let's again say to those of you that are watching us from all the platforms, we appreciate you. Last week was very, very busy, where we had our powerful guest. I'm going to review part of what she said this evening. I'm talking about Chief Mrs. Mudukweola Onitiri Abiola. Good evening to you, Mr. Our mother, our fathers, our uncles that are watching on all the platforms. You can also follow us on Star Radio UK YouTube platform, where we are also streaming live. And I would like to appreciate quite a lot of people are also live there. And let me quickly appreciate you all. Thank you once again to Keno Adeleye, waiting for instruction to strike. He also said, we have Fulanis in military uniforms living in bushes. Most of them are now in the southern barracks, just as the late Malafia told us. Moses Fadikpe says, Nigeria is an expired country. Kike Lomo Lafiaji says, Ekwetu Baba Koiki. I say, good evening. Tayo Brown says, Bola Ige. Yes, I talked about Uncle Bola Ige. He was assassinated. Chief Justice of Nigeria, till date, nobody has been held responsible. Let's take a look at some of the other comments. Good evening to you, Shigalo TV. No justice in Nigeria. Yoruba land is the only option for the Yoruba citizens. Thank you so much. I say good evening to you, my sister Rukayat Omawumi, Mrs. Kemi Alakija, and the rest of you. Quite a lot of people are listening to us tonight. And I would like to say thank you so much for being part of the family on Star Radio UK. It is your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. We welcome you as we are now going into the last part of this program. We appreciate you that remember people that are killed in Nigeria. Millions of Nigerians have died. Somebody say, hashtag do not die in their war. And I guess that is for those that are still campaigning for one political party or the other. People have the right to campaign for any of the political of their choice. But for those of us that believe in Yoruba as a nation and those that believe in Biafra, when the right time comes, as Chief Mrs. Modupeola Onitiri told us, there will be what we can call an exit from Nigeria. Spoke on so many areas, but tonight I'm going to quickly take us to part of what she talked about. And like I said, if you have missed any of that interview, if you missed that interview, it is still live to watch on Star Radio UK Facebook channel. It was just a week ago. I was asking her quite a lot of questions. So tonight, we would have opportunity once again to just review part of what she said last week. I would take you back, not because of anything, it's because some of our listeners have told our producer that we would like to know what she was talking about. And we promise that this evening, I will reveal that, even if it's for half an hour, for the benefit of those, our listeners that watched us. Like I said, it was a very busy interview. A lot of people have watched it in their thousands. And we continue to appreciate every single one of you that have been part of Star Radio UK. It is your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. We'd like you to subscribe on the channel so that whenever we are doing one more or two more, there'll be more interviews and I'll be giving you all the details. So for those of you that are watching us tonight, I will take us through the journey of my interview with Chief Mrs. Modupe Onitiri. A very powerful interview that we had last week, a very strong one. Let's just take a bit of listening to that interview again.
This is Star Radio UK.
A dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run torí a ti kọjá oríṣiríṣi ọ̀nà. Àkọ́kọ́ mo fẹ́ fi yé àwọn èèyàn wa, àwọn tó jẹ́ Yorùbá, mo fẹ́ fi yé wa wípé a need nǹkankan o láti sọ pé ká ní a fẹ́ dá dúró. A need àti ṣe bóyá gbogbo kan tá a ṣe petition ní o, àwọn kan tó ń pariwo referendum, gbogbo nǹkan yẹn a need ẹ o. Nítorí ẹ̀yà ni Ọlọ́run dá wa. Ká pé ìlú tá a wà, ìlú yẹn a jẹ́ bóyá bí ẹ̀yà kan náà bá fẹ́ jọra wa, bóyá àbí nǹkan kan so wá pọ̀ tó jẹ́ pé bí bóyá àtijọ́ jókòó, àtijọ́ ṣe constitution, àtijọ́ ṣe oríṣiríṣi pọ̀ rí tó jẹ́ pé àjọ ọmọ.
I'm going to take it bit by bit. We might not be able to complete it tonight, but we will try as much as possible. So what you are listening there is what happened between myself and Chief Mrs. Modupe Onitiri during the interview that we granted her last week, and we can only be grateful for her giving us the time. She's a very busy woman. I had opportunity to have spoken to her after that, but like I said, she is a very, very busy woman, and we are grateful for the time we spend with her. She was giving us an account details of why we would not have needed any petition or even a referendum. Because as the Yoruba people, we have the legal right to exit from Nigeria. Let's go back into that conversation.
Most of àwọn tó kúrò ní USSR ẹ̀yà kan náà ni wọ́n, Russians ni gbogbo, almost all of them. She understand. So ká pé irú situation yẹn ní irú ti wá ń sìn tó jẹ́ pé ẹ̀yà kan náà ni wá, but inú ẹ̀yà yẹn a fẹ́ yọ jáde. Ti yé yín, ó dàbí ní Canada náà, ṣe mọ̀ pé part of them fẹ́ kúrò, àwọn side Quebec nǹkan kan fẹ́ kúrò. So ẹ̀yà ni wọ́n. Wọ́n ṣe pọ́n yàtọ̀ síra wọn, ṣé ó yé yín sìn? But àwa níbí báyìí, níbi tá à ń pè ní Nàìjíríà, ẹ̀yà ọ̀tọ̀ọ̀tọ̀.
Okay, she was giving us a background of we are all different tribes in Nigeria of today. We are people from the Yoruba, the Shekiri, the Hausa, the Ijo, the Igbo, more than different languages in Nigeria, but all that was put together by the British in 1914 without thinking about the consequence of it, which we are now experiencing, having the pinch of it. And that also is part of the reason why, a lot of us disagree with Nigeria being together anymore. Let's go back again. The creator that created the Yoruba people created us separately, created the other tribes that are also beautiful tribes and different, languages. But something took place in 1914 when the British decided that all that was not something they're concerned about, and they decided to amalgamate Nigeria. Again, she was explaining that our language, our food, and she talked about something that I want us to hold on to when we had that interview with her. She said, and I quote, "Remove English from Nigeria today, and what do you get?" I'm just going back to my notepad. The interview was on the 15th, which was just a week ago. She said that if you remove the English language, you will not get anything known as Nigeria again. So let's continue. She said that even the outfit, the clothes that I'm putting on, as a Yoruba man this evening will be completely different from the other groups as well, or the other ethnic groups. And this, a nation is not a man-made, according to James Lincoln. Thank you so much. Keep the comment coming. A nation is not a man-made. Olodumare has given everyone's in country of their own, just as the Scottish, the Wales, the Japanese, the Indian, the Pakistan. But the British decided to fool everyone and put everybody together in one bottle. And now everybody's fighting each other. How we greet ourselves, our language is different. I'm just reviewing the interview we granted Chief Mrs. Modukweola Onitiri. Chief Mrs. Modukweola Onitiri Abiola last week, Wednesday. Even how we do our naming ceremony is a complete different one from the way it is done in the northern part of the country or the southeast. So why must we now be told we are one? Good evening to you, everyone, as you're watching on all the platforms tonight. I'd like to appreciate every single one of us. I appreciate those that are in the prayer this evening. I say thank you so much. There's a lot going on that you might not be able to see. I could see my camera on the other side, and there's a lot of prayer going on, and I say thank you so much as well. Once again, this is Star Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. Thank you to those of you that are listening to us on the MixLR. Keep your comment coming. Thank you so much, Mrs. Comfort. Say Tinubu has imported Boko Haram from Buhari, Fulani, jihadists to the terrorists, Yoruba people for his selfish political ambition. God of Yoruba land will destroy them. David Adegoke said, we are not one. Keep the comment coming. I'll be reading them. I'm just reviewing the interview we had last week. For 61 years, I beg we should stop deceiving ourselves. Foundation is faulty already. That is the problem. We can't continue building on bad foundation. The explosion won't be nice. Keep your comment coming on all the platforms. I will be reading them out as I have them. I welcome those of you that are watching us on Twitter, on Star Radio UK, and all the platforms. 1945. Let's listen more. The reason why we are reviewing this is for the benefit of those, our listeners, that says we'd love to listen to what she was saying, but for whatever reason, we cannot understand anything she's saying. So tonight I did promise that I will look into that, and that is exactly what we are doing. And I'd like to say thank you so much to everyone that have joined us so far. My name is Olami Koiki, and this is Star Radio UK. Without a solid foundation, you will have trouble creating anything of value. Foundation problem require foundational solution. We can't build on a wrong foundation in Nigeria. I cannot read your comment because I can't say it. Maybe you want to put it back again, Mr. Adekemi, or maybe that's Mrs. Adekemi. If you're talking about Nigeria, the passport, no details has been out yet. When we have the details, we will definitely let everybody know. We've not been given any information or details about the Yoruba passport template that everybody submitted. You will have to give more time for them to collate the result, and the result will be announced very soon. Let's go back again. She was hammering on that we are not one and we can never be one. So what is the essence of keeping us together in one bottle? There will always be crisis, there will be fighting, there will be lingering, because we are not one. So if we are not one, who then is trying to keep Nigeria together? And for what reason? And for whose benefit? Whose benefit would it be that Nigeria stays together? Who does it benefit? Is it benefiting Nigerians? Is it benefiting the Europeans? Who do you think benefit more from that contraction, as some people call it, or those that say location 9? Some even use the word it is zoo. What is your take on that? I want to know and read your comment. We might open the phone line again, but bear with us for now. Odua says, greedy politicians cannot drag us evil's alliance again. On Yoruba nation we stand. Felicia will say, it's only Yoruba nation that can solve our problems. 10 Tinubus can't solve the situation in Nigeria. At 8 o'clock, like I said, we'll be touching on everything about the political parties and what is happening. But for now, we still have about 12 minutes to review more discussion. I'm going to fast forward it a little bit. It's a long interview for the benefit of those of you that are not Yoruba speaking.
Over 110 countries.
Okay, this is where she was telling us that more than 110 countries around the world has been approached. I did ask her if she could tell us one out of those 110, but I'm sure for so many reasons known to them, she could not tell us. 110 countries have been approached for what we call recognition of the Yoruba people. Once again, I'm using this medium to appreciate and thank those that are in another prayer section on my screen here to say thank you so much. We appreciate and we love you all. It's a very busy Wednesday. It's also the media town hall meeting for those of you that follow the Yoruba self-determination media. Wednesdays are always busy. I'd like to appreciate everyone that have joined so far. Do you think that Nigeria will survive the way things are going as we speak? Do you think that Nigeria will survive it? Only politicians are benefiting from this contraction called Nigeria. This is coming from Mr. David Adegoke. Thank you so much. Let's go and listen more to Chief Mrs. Mudukbeola Onitiri Abiola during our conversation with her last week, Wednesday. We're already working on the next guest. As soon as we have all the clear, I will be giving you the name of the guest. I can't give it to you now because I'm still waiting to get the all clear.
100 last of over 110 countries. No team will buy. We pay Yoruba Daduro. And the software we pay can't recognize the fact that pay Yoruba Niwa. Okay,
she continued to talk about they must recognize that we are Yorubas. And that is what she was focusing on, that we are Yorubas. I'd like to appreciate my producer once again, Mr. Frank and Mr. Archie. They're working tirelessly back in the studio, and likewise all our listeners all over the world. Let's go back and listen more.
Mo fẹ́ ká ṣe ọ̀rọ̀ lórí recognize yẹn nítorí pé kí ni advantage kí ni ìwúlò pé kọ́ recognize ilẹ̀ Yorùbá gẹ́gẹ́ bí orílẹ̀-èdè tó ti ń bẹ kó tó di pé gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ 1914 amalgamation oko ẹrú kí ni ìdí tí recognize yẹn ṣe wà tó jẹ́ ìwúlò nínú ìrìn àjò yìí.
Yes, sir.
I just asked her, what is the real benefit of being recognized by 110 countries that they have already approached? And let's hear what she has to say.
Ṣàlàyé fún yín, sharing yẹn gbogbo la need. Kò kí ń ṣe referendum la need, sir. Kò kí ń ṣe petition la need, sir. Recognition òun la need, sir. Ìyẹn gbogbo ló yẹ ká lè pa. But a gbé àwọn ìgbésẹ̀ pé petition wa, first question no petition wa, referendum question ni. So ó tẹ̀ stand fún referendum. Mo ṣàlàyé nínú ìwé mi tí mo kọ sí màmá, Queen of England, mo ṣàlàyé.
Okay, I'm going to pause that. She said, and she quoted during that interview, that a letter has already been sent to our Royal Majesty, Queen of England, and likewise a letter has been sent to Prince Charles. I don't know if they've responded back. So that means Buckingham Palace is now aware that the Yoruba want recognized out of Nigeria, as they've always been a kingdom prior to 1914.
I need referendum or they need petition. But I should petition 5 million. And petition you represent referendum because
we did a petition of 5 million, according to what she's saying. That means just as a lot of people petition for different things, a petition was put out some 2-3 months ago precisely, and 5 million Yoruba people signed that petition. She's talking about that petition.
it's an exit of the arrangement one there. Mo ṣàlàyé yẹn. Àwọn bàbá wa náà kọ ìwé sí gbogbo wọn. Bàbá Banji Akintoye wọ́n
She also emphasized that Professor Banji Akintoye, who is the leader of the Yoruba self-determination, has also put a letter to so many countries and different dignitaries across the globe.
kọ̀wé sí gbogbo wọn. A tún gbé lọ sí United Nations. Ṣé ẹ rí record?
Okay, she also emphasized that a letter has also been sent to United Nations. So the world recognition is what we need, according to Chief Mrs. Modupeola Onitiri. You're still listening to Star Radio UK, and we're just about half an hour, and I have to push quickly. Thank you so much, Mr. Tunji Ola Oro. Very beautiful name. So a letter has now been put to Queen of England. A letter has been put to Prince Charles, the son, that the Yoruba would now want recognition as a country to be recognized.
Ló yẹ ká máa lé. Ìdí ni pé kò sẹ́ni tó recognize wa.
She's talking about that. The reason is nobody recognized us prior to being part of Nigeria.
She understand? Ayé àtijọ́ tipẹ́tipẹ́ ni àwọn kan mọ̀ pé Yorùbá ni wá.
She talked about before the independence, before the 1914, we were recognized as Yoruba people around the globe. We've been trading, we've been doing businesses, we've been traveling around. Go back and read the history. And that is why I talked about bigger than Africa. It is quite important that every Yoruba sons and daughters watch that documentary, Bigger Than Africa. It gives us a clear view of who we are as Yoruba people. I'm talking about Bigger Than Africa. I watched it some few weeks back before the June 12 beautiful rally. When you watch Bigger Than Africa, it tells you everything you need to know. Yoruba women has been in commerce before the amalgamation. We had a Yoruba system of government before the 1914 amalgamation. No men allowed in women affair. All these, the Oyo Empire, Oshun, Yemoja, Iyalode of Yoruba land, the Yoruba culture, women make more money doing traders, use their hands to make money. I'm talking about the Bigger Than Africa. I'm just giving you some summary about it. When you look at it, you will see Michael Jackson, Olodumare was the outfit he was putting on during one of his, music. Oshun, Akara, a very beautiful one that we eat with palm oil. Our tradition takes us all the way to Salvador in Brazil. The Black Panthers also protected the Yoruba during those era. We are not slaves. Professor Wole Soyinka was in that documentary. Cuba, Spanish colony in West Africa during the 1800s. I'm talking about during the 1800s, we were known as the Yoruba Kingdom. So why then do we have to be forced to be called Nigeria? If we have a name, if we are a tribe, being the 1800, 1700, 1600, 1500, and then in 1900, just 14 years after 1900, the whole thing have changed and everybody is now known as Nigeria, and that is what she's discussing here.
In fact,
again, she talked about the identity, because if you look and go to the Bigger Than Africa, that documentary, 1800, we were used for the 450,000 tons of sugar during the Spanish colony. We were not known as Nigeria then. We were not known as anything more than, we were known as the Yoruba people, Yoruba. depending on what you want to call it. But now everybody is more concerned that we should be known and called Nigeria. And the question is, why should we be known and called Nigeria? Because if you go and watch Bigger Than Africa, it gives us that who we are. A very good evening to you, my brother, Bayode J. Oluwasami. And he says, and I quote here, "Good afternoon, Chief Mrs. Modupe Onitiri Abiola. You are the Esther of our time. We have no words to thank you enough. God will guide, protect you, grant you, and strengthen and longevity to celebrate our freedom, liability, and freedom together." I want a lot of people to go and watch that documentary, Bigger Than Africa. I think I talked about it here. Bigger Than Africa. 1 minute. I'd like to appreciate every one of you. We're just about getting into the program. So if you go and listen to Bigger Than Africa, 1800, we were not known as Nigeria in 1800. But today, the reason why is because of nothing more than the 1914 fraudulent amalgamation of the Britain colonization and then decided to amalgamate us. It's called the 1914 amalgamation. 1914 amalgamation. That is what changed our identity. And let me take us through a bit of the write-up on that. The 1914 amalgamation that occurred shortly after the naming of Nigeria was one of the significant moments for British administration in Africa and the pivotal one for colonial Nigeria. Before this event, the Nigerian state had been a political entity with numerous diversities, which made governed colony of Lagos all had their own separate styles of government. This regional structure meant different laws were applicable in the protectorate and in the colony of Lagos. The protectorate and the colony of Lagos were quite self-autonomous and governing them with different laws. So why did we have to now leave our identity for something else? When Lugard became the governor of the Southern Protectorate in 1912, it got the attention of Mr. Louis Venom Harcourt, the then Secretary of the State for the Colonies. Harcourt agreed with Lugard that it was important that different regions merge in order to help govern the country. So it was only for the interest of the British that we were merged together in 1914. And all this discussion started in 1912. As at 1912, we were all known as Yorubas, the Biafra, the Ishakiri, the Hausas, and everybody was living in their own different colony. But something changed, and that has now had big impact in the lives of millions of Yorubas, the Hausas, the Ishakiris, and we do not even know who the Fulanis are because they were never part of us. So for those that are now arguing that we should go again for 2023 election, I'm then asking the question, just as the mother that we had an interview with last week told us categorically that we are not Europe, we are not Nigerian. Let's listen to her again. So again, she's talking Yorubas do not even know that they are not Yorubas. Some downstairs. Some Yorubas still do not know that they are Yorubas. They are still thinking and hoping that we are Nigerians. There's nobody called Nigerian before 1912. It was the joint conversation that the British, the administrator, thought that to make life easy for them, and life has never been easy since 1914 for those that they amalgamated. There's no security, there's no welfare, there's killings every day, there's kidnapping, there's massacre, there's food hunger. 100 million are living in abject poverty. We could have been better to stay on our own different region as the Yoruba, the Hausa, and we can do the trade among each other, and we can continue to have relationship. But today, a particular ethnic group has now marginalized all the other ethnic groups for their own advantage, and they want to keep it like that, known as Nigeria. So those of you that want us to go into 2023, my question to you is, why should we allow our identity to overshadow the current situation? Once again, this is Star Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. We'd like to appreciate everyone that have joined us. I'd like to appreciate my mom, and I'd like to appreciate all our loved ones. And I'd like to appreciate everyone that traveled to Ibadan to represent the court case. I'm just getting an update. Don't waste your time and money to contest for president. Babangida advised Bola Tinubu. It's getting interesting. It's getting more interesting. Let me play back more. We will not be able to listen to everything in terms of the summary tonight, but I can guarantee you that I will continue to review the interview we had. And if you have missed that interview, we would like you to go and watch it again. Vicky James says, yes, there was the Yoruba Empire before the stupid 1914 amalgamation. The Phenomenon says, I already know before documentary, I did some research to know my real identity, but not a lot of people know their identity. Let's listen to this. Not everybody knows that. The Yoruba, according to what she's saying, are still thinking that some other ethnic groups are more powerful than us and they are more stronger than us. Do you agree with that as well? Star Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. I'm reading more comment. Mrs. Comfort says, it is time for the Yoruba nation. Nothing can stop it. Yoruba must process their possession. No going back. Yoruba nation must emerge. Babangida the killer. I talked about him, and I'm just getting the update that Babangida is advising Bola Ahmed Tinubu not to waste his money. Once again, a very good evening. We're going to take a call quickly. And I have my caller, Bishop Adesina, that I've called in all the way from southwest of Nigeria, known as the Yoruba land. You're welcome as we're reviewing the interview. Okay, I thought he wanted to have a word with us, but it doesn't seem so, and I'm going to let him go. Once again, we appreciate every one of you that have joined us tonight. I could still allow maybe one or two calls should you want to have your say. I will allow one or two calls. Those of you the latest update, you can go and watch these later on. Let's come back to my full screen here. I'll appreciate my producer one more time, Frank David and Archie, and the rest of the team that are working tirelessly so that we can continue to give you all the news, the headlines, and everything that is coming out of Nigeria. Once again, while I'm live here, we're also having on my screen where there's a prayer and there's a what we could call a small gathering. And I say thank you so much to everyone in that particular Zoom conversation. We love you and I appreciate you. Once again, as we continue to discuss and review everything that we need to talk about, we are now 24 minutes before the end of the program. I welcome you all to Star UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. Now let's talk about 2023. Why is it that millions of Nigerians still believe in one Nigeria? Is the question I'm asking now. I want you to write your comment and I will give you opportunity for me to read it out. Once again, a very good evening. Why? The question I'm asking this evening is, why do so many Nigerians still live in one Nigeria? Thank you so much, Akorede Sula. Good evening to you, Mr. Olawoye. You say Yoruba nation now. You also talked about Mama Abiola Onitiri, Ekwefunwa. Once again, thank you so much. We appreciate everyone, and we, okay, Bolaji Rafiu say because they are still collecting bribe. I'm just reading some of your comments as we're now just almost winding down. David says those ones are mad. Okay. I'm reading some of your comments. Why do you think so many Nigerians still believe in one Nigeria? I want to know a little bit from those of you that are watching us. Why do they still believe in one Nigeria? What is it that they're enjoying that they want to keep Nigeria forever? As I can tell you, I've been looking at the Twitter headline. Hashtag Tif Tinubu is trending at 15.3k view. Hashtag Tif Tinubu. Why are they calling him Tif Tinubu? I'm going to take a bit of some of the comments on that Twitter. A lot of people want Peter Obi. I've been seeing a lot of design of different things of Peter Obi. To see why people are why Tinubu is trending. Again, I says voting article means no electricity in Nigeria for 8 years. Only Peter Obi can guarantee us a better life. Why do people want to have Nigeria as their name as against their real identity? If a Igbo man does not want to keep his identity but wants to remain Nigeria that was created in 1914, why? Somebody say because of Ijekuje. Some say Nigeria are not well informed about Nigerian predicaments, so they believe in one Nigeria. But that's what I've just discussed here. I've taken us back to 1912 before Nigeria was amalgamated. So why is this so much difficult? 10 minutes past 8, at exactly 8:30, we're going to be bringing the program. You can also remember that the Star Radio UK is on 24/7. You can follow us on all our social media handles. But the best way to also follow us is starradiouk.com, which is our website where you can get all the podcasts, the news, and everything that needs to be done. Also, the Yoruba Central account is already out for the benefit of those of you that would like to know more about that. It is called ysdm.org. It has the Yoruba Self-Determination Movement, and that is where you can find all the information regarding the Yoruba Central account. Also, for those of you that would like to support the account that has been put out for Mrs. Onitiri that talked about, the Ominira, all this information, should you need any of that, get in touch with me. I will forward those details to you as quickly as you can think of. Jimo says because their eyes is still dark. Why is a Nigerian still want to keep Nigeria, and for what reason? I'm still thinking about, I'm looking at some of what is trending on Nigeria before we go. We still expect as many to sign the petition. So if you haven't signed the petition before, you can still sign that petition. And that is why we are saying, for the benefit of those of you that have not signed that petition, you can still do so. My name is Olayomi Koiki, and you've been watching Star Radio UK. It is your finest African and Caribbean radio station in London. We appreciate those of you that have joined us this evening from all the part of the globe where you're watching us from. Next week, we'll probably back in the studio properly where you can be able to follow all the conversation. But tonight, we are streaming from the house because there's a lot of traffic, and there's also a lot of what we can call the strike, which is having a big impact. Once again, Star Radio UK, your finest African and Caribbean radio station. So remember that if you haven't signed a petition, please do so now. If you have signed it before, you don't sign it again, you can only sign it once. I say good evening to my beautiful mother and welcome once again to Star Radio UK. Thank you so much, Mr. David Adegoke. We are just about 17 minutes before the end of tonight's program. We've been so grateful to have every one of you. I'm just reading some of your comments when it comes to why Nigerians still want to keep Nigeria. Mr. Jimo said the only wise we know what you are trying to say before they keep shouting one Nigeria my foot. I say good evening to you, Mr. Grandson. Jimo Raza, good evening, Latif. Olamide, I'm just reading some of your comments. Sorry, I've just picked those comments coming through. Babatunde Fayemi, we need our Yoruba nation, and that's exactly what my belief is as well. I would like to appreciate our mother, Mrs. Comfort Adeleye, by the grace, special grace of God, before the election, we shall be out front the shit old country. Wow. I say good evening to you, my beautiful mother, and thank you so much for your help during our beautiful rally that took place last week, well, almost a week ago now. Excuse me. Thank you so much. It's been when it's summertime, there's a lot that's happening during the summer. Thank you so much, Mrs. Omolara Iyabo Ajala, for being helpful during the beautiful rally that we did last week. My name is Olami Koiki. The Self-Determination Media will be out. Good evening to you, my beautiful mother as well, Mrs. Olajumoke Ajoke. Thank you so much. Ajasa Funsho Daily, thank you so much. Yoruba Nation not going back. David Alani, good evening. I don't want Nigeria again, please, Yoruba Nation. By end of the week, we hope to get more details about what passport has been picked among all the passport that we all submitted. I'm sure you all remember the passport. You can no longer submit it, but I can show you if I can. 1 minute, hopefully, if I can. Let's see if I have it. We also remember that there was a special letter that was written by Gani Adams, a very powerful one in short. So I'm sure some of you have seen that passport before. Let me just quickly show you. We can't do anything because the submission date has already expired. But let me just take us through some of the design that we all witnessed on that fateful day. Ijoba Italo, thank you so much. Maize Gold, less than 5 months, we're going to be in a new nation. There's no doubt. Remember that Soviet Union break off 1991, December 26. It would be nice if the Yoruba people can do the same thing. December 26, Boxing Day, we declare a Yoruba nation. I still welcome Ola Saluzo. I appreciate the peaceful Chief Sunday Igbo court case. Terry Omalade, we appreciate you. Jim Razak, thank you so much. Akinwande, we appreciate you. Kenny Bright, good evening. Mrs. Joyce Bodunri, we love you all. Taiwo Salako, thank you so much. And to all the Yorubas and the non-Yorubas. Philip said the reasons are not far-fetched. Some people are afraid of the outcome of being separated. They don't have any idea what the future might look. Others are just supporting a one Nigeria because of their selfish interest. Their businesses, incomes has been coming from this particular source. They don't want this source to be tampered with. You will notice that most of the supporters of the one Nigeria are people that they can afford to put food on their plate. This yoke must be broken. This yoke must be broken, Yoruba Nation now. Edward Wale said, I can only see this as the time of Noah. When the time reaches, those that we remain going to be Omo Odua. Really, any Nigerian well acquainted with Ominira Yoruba and all enlightenment we receive on various self-determination platforms, we feel like dissolving Nigeria immediately. Thank you so much, Samson, and Yoruba Nation. Now. So I've been asking the question while I'm showing you, some of the passport template. We're expecting a result, hopefully before next week. I don't know when exactly. We've not been told when, but I'm sure when it comes out, we will all be telling you that. Remember that the self-determination media will be out again tonight. If not, they have been out already. And then remember to join them. And then also, we appreciate all, and we let us continue to remember that Nnamdi Kanu is still being kept inside the custody of the DSS, and we continue to pray for him and his family, just as we did for Chief Sunday Igbo while he was also in that custody of Benin Republic. So these are all the beautiful passports that every one of us have submitted. You cannot submit anything anymore. It has already closed. All we are waiting for now is the template of which one has been accepted by all the Yorubas. My name is Olayomi Koike. We're just about 11 minutes before the end of the program. Please, I want to hear the conversation of my monetary, or you're going to have to go and watch it on Star Radio UK on our YouTube channel. It's right there for the benefit of those of you. I think I shared it earlier on. I can copy that and then send it to those of you that would like to go and watch it. It is worth listening to if you have the time again and again. There's a lot of information that she talked about in that particular interview. So while I'm going to leave this, I'm also going to show us quickly the template letter of Secretary General of the United Nations, UN. We say thank you so much to Gani Adams, the Are Ono Kakanfo of Yoruba land. A very powerful one. I'm going to try and read as much as I can out of it. Just bear with me while I expand it so that you all can read along with me. And now we've got it expanded. We can reduce this a little bit and then I can put this up there. So let's go through together with this letter. Dear Sir, avoiding a replica of the Bosnia War in Nigeria. That is the headline of that particular letter, the title. Greetings to you from more than 60 million Yoruba people in southwest Nigeria and across the world. As you and hundreds of millions of people globally are aware, things are no longer normal in Nigeria. I'm sure everybody agree. Good evening to you, my beautiful, beautiful mother, auntie, Miss Sis Ebu Enilolobo. I've not seen Temi tonight, and I've not seen my other big auntie, Sister Lekki. I believe they're all busy working. These are all our strong NHS staff working tirelessly. Thank you so much, Mrs. Comfort. We appreciate everyone that also has been a strong supporter of our platform, and likewise all other platforms. I cite you, my sister, my mother, and all our beautiful aunties across the globe. Thank you so much, Patrick Baba Oye. We say thank you to all our Muslim brothers and Christians. As Ileya is coming, let us remain very vigilant. So much kidnapping is happening in Nigeria, and the Nigerian government is not doing anything to avert it. As it's just about 8 minutes, I will be saying that next week, Wednesday, if all goes as planned, Bishop Additional will be live with us on Star Radio UK. And if all goes as planned, maybe the upper week, we're trying to get through to Chief Tola Adeni to come and speak to us as well. Don't waste your money, Babangida is telling Tinubu. He's not the president yet, but the whole road was locked over the weekend. Thank you so much, Mr. Edward Wale. We love you all on this platform on Star Radio UK and all of our other platforms. You can also follow me on all our platforms that you all know, which is the KOIKIMEDIA. But this evening, We're live from Star Radio UK. I know a lot of you have said I should change the name to Yoruba Voices, but like you all need to remember, Star Radio UK, is a different entity from KOIKIMEDIA. Star Radio UK, the Niger Voices was put together after a lot of deliberation of not having the voice of the Nigerians on that platform. And I started, that conversation on Star Radio UK some 5 years ago. So we will still keep it as Niger Voices, but be rest assured the interest of the self-determination groups will be held on this platform, especially on Niger Voices. This is going to be different from where radio presenters, journalists are not allowed to say the same thing on all the radios in Nigeria because they will be locked up or they will be kidnapped or they might likely be killed. We are not in Nigeria. We are in Europe, and we are having the right to self-determination. We will talk about it on this program. We will talk about the Biafra nation. We will talk about the Arewa nation, and all these will happen right here on this particular platform. But we will not be able to change that name for now from Niger Voices to Yoruba Voices because we still want to bring as many Nigerians that probably would disagree with us to hear their views and also allow them to speak. I'm trying to see if I can bring Omoyele Sowore to come and speak to us before the no election, because we believe that the Yoruba people would have exit. And if anybody wants to vote, they also have the right to go and vote in the northern part of the country. So thank you so much, Happy Rashid. As we're just 6 minutes, let me quickly go through a bit of this, letter from Gani Adams. Dangerous and despicable things are happening in the world's most populous black nation. What happened in the defunct Yugoslavia that led to the balkanization of that country is becoming like a child's play in Nigeria. I greet all the followers of Gani Adams, the OPC, the YOV. I send greetings to Amotekun. Please continue to protect our people back in the Yoruba land and Ibube in the Biafra land. Stop killing the innocent Biafrans. If they disagree with you, protect them from the Fulani terrorists. And likewise, those in the north, the Middle Belt, we expect security to protect the lives of every Nigerians. But in the Yoruba land, I send greetings to Agbekoya. Moki gbogbo ẹ̀yin Agbekoya pátápátá. Ọba Aládé, Moki gbogbo ọmọ Yoruba. That is a greeting in our language. And that also shows that this platform will be used to promote the interest of the Yoruba people. It might be known as Niger Voices, but be rest assured that my views of being part of a strong supporter and those that campaign for Yoruba nation, we will also continue to do so. But we must also remember that millions of those that disagree with us, we want to hear their views, and that is why we are here on Niger Voices. Pitiably, terrorists moving from the northern Nigeria to the south are being embraced and encouraged by powers, empowered by powers that be in Nigeria. It's just the government. Your Excellency, globally, you are known and recognized as a statesman because you were the Prime Minister from 1995 to 2002, and as the 9th person to hold this title of United Nations Secretary General, you are the #1 diplomat in the world. You are a symbol of UN ideas and a spokesman for the interests of the world's peoples, in particular the poor, the vulnerable among them. I am raising this alarm now because the effect of this dangerous trend may ultimately balkanize Nigeria and affect the sub-Sahara Africa. Similar alarm was raised in the defunct Yugoslavia, and sadly, nobody put in a check. The progressists whose actions led to the massacre in that geographical location, this lackadaisical attitude by those benefiting from these national malaias led to the Bosnia War, which began in 1992 and lasted till 1995. It was an international armed conflict that took place in Bosnia and Herzegovina between 1992 and 95. The various reasons for countries' breakup range from cultural, religious division between ethnic groups making up the nation. And this is exactly what has been happening in Nigeria. We don't have unity among ourselves. Good evening to you, Mrs. Yemisi, watching on Instagram, Olalekan, Jalili, Bad Blaza, and the rest of you that I might not be able to mention. I love every one of you that have joined us. Empress, Babatunde 52584, Adekunle Plenty, Adebanjo Olusegun Sunday, Odion Sandra, Olayinka _Labisi, Joe K17, and the rest of you as well on all the other platforms as well. I'm just going to be handing over to my studio, but more music to play before we go tonight. And I want to say thank you so much. I wish we can go on and on, but like they always say, there's time for everything. And it is now time to hand over back to the studio. Yes, triple R. Yes, not double R. Triple R. Triple R. Triple R is exactly Igbo man, not Igbo man. Igbo man. Okay. Thank you so much to my beautiful mother. And Triple R. I want you to go and watch that movie. I've shown you quite a lot of things. Let me just quickly recap it again for those that have just joined us. Triple R, Rise, Row, Revolt is a very powerful movie that talks about exactly what happened during the India being colonized by the British. Bigger Than Africa is a big documentary that I encourage every Yoruba to have time to watch. If you have the time, Journey of African Colony. It takes you through how Brits colonized Nigeria. I talked about Chief Sunday Igbo at the beginning. We love Mazinam de Kanu. We talked about the killings of the Lekki massacre, DJ Switch, Oyigbo, Ifeoluwa, Lady K. We talked about Chief Sunday Igbo and our very strong lawyer, Chief Yomi Aliu, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. We talked about the fundamental of that case. We remember those that were killed during the the massacre that took place. And that means I have to hand over back now to the studio. Thank you so much. I can't go further more. I have to now say Odabo. Bye from this part of the globe. I will be back same time next week. And on this side of the globe, I say thank you so much. My name is Olayomi Koiki, and I welcome you next week when we're going to have Bishop Adesina that will join us during the program next week. I'm trying to get through to Omoyele Showore. We're trying to get through to Chief Tola Adeniyi. We need to get all the views. And as we say, from this part, let us remember those that died and those that continue to be killed in Nigeria today. May Nigeria never happen to you, because Nigeria itself, it's a crime scene. And on that note, bye for now.
Thanks for listening.
All around the world.
Thank you so much. It's been a long day. It's been a long day, man. As usual, we're walking around the clock. Never stop. Never stop. Onisha Media. It's been a long day. Support. No. Without your support, we can't do this job. So we need that support to continue so that we can do more. It's a long day already, as usual. Many like to join studio. I mean, our media not listening. Nigeria can never work, so stop praying for Nigeria. It's a shitty country. You know. If Nigeria was working, where you have light, you have stable internet, you stream the message out, nobody harass you, nobody kills you. bó bá sọ 1% ní Nàìjíríà ó máa di òkú nìyẹn bó ṣe padé légi wá. Gbogbo àlàyé tí mo ṣe látàárọ̀ nísìn tó bá gbìyànjú tó bá kọ̀ sọ kékeré nínú ẹ̀ wọ́n máa pa ìdànù ni. Ṣé ìlú yẹn lè fẹ́ keep together? It's a shame that our people still think that Nigeria is a lovely country. I don't know. Mo mọ tẹ́ ẹ ń feel pé Nigeria ṣé identity yín nísìn you want to the identity ẹ fẹ́ jẹ́ ká jọ identity wa nù ká máa lo identity tá ti lò for 108 years tó favour wa. Ó favour àwọn British náà kò favour wa. Identity yẹn ó favour àwọn náà. Identity yẹn kò nísìn ìwọ tó ń wò mí nísìn tí bá ní kó lọ apply fún visa nísìn identity yẹn ò ní jẹ́ kó fún ẹ visa because náà wọ́n lọ fún ẹ ní Nàìjíríà. So ẹ jẹ́ ká ronú náà ẹ̀yin tẹ̀ ń ṣe APC tẹ̀ ń ṣe PDP ok tó bá support Tinubu nísìn ṣé o mọ̀ pé identity yẹn ó sì wà lábẹ́ Nàìjíríà ṣé ẹ̀yin ò mọ̀ yẹn ìwọ tó fẹ́ support Peter Obi identity yẹn ó sì wà lábẹ́ Nàìjíríà so kí wá nígbìyànjú tó wá fẹ́ keep Nàìjíríà why do you want to keep Nàìjíríà? Ẹ jẹ́ wo bí àwọn media ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ kí n ti rẹ bọ́dì ìjàre kí n lọ́ọ́ bá bí ṣe máa wá nǹkan tí máa jẹ nígbà tí mo sí Nàìjíríà lébi ti lè máa pa yín bíbí bá pààyàn níbí ìbàyàn máa ń jẹun ni. Ẹ jẹ́ bá mi wá ká máa jẹun wá ẹ jẹ́ máa set up díẹ̀ díẹ̀ jẹ́ ń lọ wo kí ló ń ṣẹlẹ̀. Ọ̀rọ̀ yín tẹ́ wà nílé mo understand ẹ jẹ́ kí n mú ìwé lè wá báyìí. Tàbá dẹ̀ wí ẹ̀ka shut up Koiki shut up ẹ̀ka shut up come back home come and do the same thing in Nigeria kí wọ́n ṣe the same thing. Ṣé ẹ mọ̀ pé Nàìjíríà kì í ṣèlú ni èyí tí Délégi wá sọ lẹ́tà bọ̀m lọ́lọ́ fi pa sínú ilé èyí tèmi sọ gan kò tí tó ń tí Délégi wá sọ àbí mo parọ́ ni èyí tí Délégi wá sọ tọ́nà síra mi lójú ọ̀rọ̀ bó ṣe bright ṣe ń tọ́ kejì torí bí náà bó ṣe bright inú òkùnkùn lẹ wà òkùnkùn parada ẹni wàhálà mi pọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ ni wàhálà láti pọ̀ bá ṣe lè jẹ́ kẹ́ gbọ́nà lélẹ̀ ìlú òṣì ìlú tó ti bàjẹ́ wọ́n ti báyé jẹ́ wọ́n ti bọ̀nà jẹ́. Ẹ jẹ́ kí n lọ wo líǹkì tá a máa fi join ní media lálẹ́ support wọn Nàìjíríà wá gẹ́gẹ́ bí ìlú ẹ̀yin tẹ́ ti support Nàìjíríà láti jọ kílẹ̀ rí mú bẹ́ẹ̀ orí mọ́tò wọn kékeré lélẹ̀ nísìn torí mọ́tò ọlọ́pàá tó máa ń protect ọmọ Oòduà lélẹ̀ olówó nìkan ló máa ní ọlọ́pàá níwájú tó máa drive àwọn olówó ti gbọ́n tí ká máa fún ẹ̀ ń gbádùn orin yẹn lọ àbí ẹ jẹ́ máa play ẹ̀ lọ́gbà ẹ̀ wá ti bá ń settle àfikọ́ máa gbébọn orí àwọn DSS tó lọ sí court ẹ̀rìbọn ṣe gbébọn dání ìbọn táwọn lè fi wá Boko Haram àfikọ́ máa fi terrorize aráàlú gbébọn kọ́ máa gbébọn kọ́ máa fi terrorize aráàlú àwọn wèrè ẹgbẹ́ kó yẹ bright dáadáa nísìnyí iná méjì ni àwọn náà tí mò ń lò lélẹ̀ iná tẹ̀rí Nàìjíríà ẹ má bínú bóyá mo fi ń kàn yín lójú àwọn tó ń support wọn Nàìjíríà kí n fún ẹ níná díẹ̀ torí pé orí omi ni mo gbé sí volvic water ńlá lélẹ̀ iná méjì ni ìlú jágbajàgba sórí eléyìí ní 1.5 volvic water pure water lè mú nílé pure water tó tí bacteria wà nínú ẹ̀ ọmọ àlè ìwọ tó ní MTN òun kàn pí ara ẹ pẹ̀lú èmi tí mo ní íńtánẹ́ẹ̀tì tó pọ̀ ó wá ń kọ́mẹ́ǹtì yẹn máa kọ́mẹ́ǹtì jagbajàgba èyí tí yà ń jẹ ó rò pé yà ń jẹ mi ìyà ò jẹ mí tí bá pè wọ́n nísìnyí wọ́n máa wá oúnjẹ tó máa sè fún mi tí máa jẹ madness country òun ní eléyìí nísìnyí sórí ọmọ kékeré gan gbogbo àwọn kan báyìí kí lè léyìí nísìnyí eléyìí ló máa ń kó yẹ̀pẹ̀ orí ẹ nísìnyí ó ti yẹ tá bá ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ tí Yorùbá nation tá bá ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ iṣẹ́ máa drive wá àwọn kan sórí mọ́tò báyìí nísìnyí tó bá máa jáde lójú títì èèyàn kan máa pilot ẹ̀ jáde ni bó ṣe wà báyìí iṣẹ́ kan nìyẹn o tọ́ ìlàsán mo kàn fi ń wọ̀n ní bíbáyìí kí ló tún wà ní bíbáyìí ọmọ Oòduà yín sórí ó like fire engine tó pọ̀ sórí gbogbo àwọn kan kéékèèké báyìí these are the reality tó máa di òtítọ́. Imagine fire brigade máa wá sínú ó máa wá paná ẹ tún máa ṣe pure water ẹ máa dì á mọ́ iná tó ń jó ẹ̀yin ọ̀dẹ̀ kí ló tún wà níbà another one tún wà níbà lọ ṣubú ọ lórí mọ́tò ọlọ́pàá lélẹ̀ tó bá pọ̀ ọlọ́pàá ní sìnkú ní dẹ́ lóun Nàìjíríà wọ́n ní pọ́nu mọ́tò ẹ jẹ́ máa bá fi ṣe máa bẹ́ wọn mídíà ká máa jọ́ọ̀nì wọn ẹni wàhálà mi ti pọ̀ jù àbí bẹ́ẹ̀ kọ́ ẹ jẹ́ lọ wọ́ orin kan sí kí n máa play jàre. Ẹ mọ̀ pé ayùn yín ló ń ṣàwà left to pé tó wáyé pé Ọlọ́run kò sí wa nínú gbogbo àtàǹṣe Yorùbá nation ẹlòmíì ti gbàgbé ilé gan tó tẹ̀ fi ní kankan ṣe pẹ̀lú Nàìjíríà mọ́ Yorùbá nation ló jẹ́ káwọn èèyàn put together ẹlòmíì ti náwó fẹ́ ṣe business nílé gbọ́dọ̀ ti fẹ́ ṣe business tó ní ná you need this light iná yìí ṣe o fẹ́ pa ní sìn ṣe o ti lọ iná yìí nísìn èèyàn need ẹ̀ láti fi ṣe business imagine pé mo wá ń run generator mo fi ń ṣe gbogbo tí mò ń ṣe mo ti ṣe tán o ẹ̀yin ará ilé mi ibi ló ń pa mí báyìí ẹ jẹ o ẹ fún bàbá Oòduà ló ń jẹ o ẹ ní Nàìjíríà will work Nàìjíríà tó ṣiṣẹ́ lọ́dọ̀ grandfather ló máa ṣiṣẹ́ nísìn Nàìjíríà tó ṣiṣẹ́ tí grandfather fi kú ìwọ náà ṣàmọ ọmọ tó pa grandfather kò sọ hospital ni àbí nǹkan tó pa grandfather kọ́ nìyẹn wọ́n flush nísìn toilet nìyẹn iwájú ọ̀dọ̀ yìí nísìn ẹ máa da omi sínú korobá gbùgbù àbí kẹ́ lọ yàgbẹ́ níta inú toilet lọ ti kúrò yẹn flush omi á tún padà síbẹ̀ iṣẹ́ kan nìyẹn tó bá flush omi á tún padà á tún rotate á padà síbẹ̀ basic things of life mo kàn lè fi yàrá ni mo wà I can't show you everything here mo like ibi ọmọ Funsho Williams we keep sacrificing our people to keep one Nigeria instead of sacrificing Nigeria to keep our people ẹ lè disagree pẹ̀lú ẹ because views ẹ ó lágbára gan when it comes to religion I don't think she's not ọ̀rọ̀ religion kò sí lọ́rọ̀ girl yẹn Ifá Funsho I normally post her comment all the time again post ilé tó send nísìn mo kẹ́hìn tẹ́wà lórí mixlr o I love her so much you know ó dẹ̀ believe in Yorùbá nation to the core but gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ èmi ní religion yẹn kò tán fẹ́ gbọ́ rárá ó sọ nísìn 3 hours ago we keep sacrificing our people to keep one Nigeria is that not so they've sacrificed so many people to I mean imagine we are sacrificing people instead of sacrificing Nigeria to keep our people we are sacrificing people ọmọ tó mi by that wọ́n slaughter àwọn èèyàn lójoojúmọ́ ẹwà àwọn tó pa ní mo tẹ̀wọ̀n fún àwọn èjì yẹn ẹwà ọmọ kékeré yẹn kókò lọ sí church kó lọ gbàdúrà sọ́lọ́run terrorist wọlé wọ́n blow ẹ̀ dànù ẹ̀yin wá ní ká wá ṣe election oh you follow him on Twitter ṣọkùnrin náà obìnrin nàbí I hope I'm right I think it's a female she's a female she's not male anyway I don't know oríṣiríṣi ló wà láyé nísìn I love her so much you know Ifá Funsho ẹni tó bá ní heart ẹ lè follow nǹkan tó máa ń sọ̀rọ̀ cause views ẹ wà against religion gan but in life you must have open mind you know kò ń ṣe gbogbo àwọn èèyàn tó disagree pẹ̀lú religion náà ní kíní you know fẹ́ join àwọn media ni o but orí kíní mi ni wọ́n ti topic alright níbo ni zoom link yẹn wà báyìí iṣẹ́ ńlá orin kí ó kì í ti rí zoom link yẹn wá ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ gan báyìí just don't come here because the camera no you can come in just stay there go and tell mommy I'm hungry that was good today come here wá dúró síbí báyìí wọn ẹ̀kọ́ rí ẹ dúró síbí báyìí báwo ni school lé ní kí lẹ ṣe ní school.
I played with my friend.
Okay. Kí lẹ tún ṣe? Ẹ ṣe maths lẹ́nìí. Ẹ ṣe English. Ẹ ṣe Yorùbá. Ẹ ṣe Yorùbá. Ọ̀ ní kọ́ Yorùbá. Britain ò ní kọ́ Yorùbá. Ilé láti máa kọ́ Yorùbá. Kí lẹ jẹ ní school lẹ́nìí?
Wrap and rice and chicken.
Wrap, rice, àti kí ni? Àti chicken. Kí lẹ mu? Ṣé drink lẹ máa bọ̀? Omi. Or for any drink. The body the mama no fair drink. A fruit. Fruit will Did you eat any fruit? No. So rice, wrap, and chicken. Go and tell mommy I'm hungry. We go. You want to call Mama see Nigeria? Oh, expected that uncle told me for Nigeria. Oh, they call Mama silly. And you go move. Yeah, no buying set up. We can join media. We first set it up. And set it up. My go broadcast. Okay, what the berry.
Recording in progress.
All right. Sorry, set it up.
Kò sí nǹkan tí ò jẹ́ kẹ́ nominate kí ẹgbẹ́ yẹn nominate ẹni yẹn sí
accountant
àdẹ̀wò lóòótọ́ ẹni tí ṣiṣẹ́ ní báńkì ọ ẹni tí ṣiṣẹ́ ní company ó ti handle owó rí àáfi síbẹ̀ báwọn àbíòye àwọn tó wà ń bẹ̀ ṣe bọ́ ṣe débẹ̀ náà nìyẹn. Now bó dẹ̀ jẹ́ publicity committee ni ẹ̀yin sẹ́ni èèyàn méjì nínú lẹ́yìn èèyàn méjì yẹn tó bá lẹ́ni tí tó gbà yí pé yes ògbóǹtarìgì nínú olóṣèlú ni wọ́n yáyà ó mọ press release yìí kọ́ ni àbó ó lè fún wa publicity ni yes á wà níbẹ̀ àwọn ọmọ yẹn ò kì í ṣe méjì yẹn and tẹ́ bá dé committee yẹn any head of those committee they are members of any director or committee torí àwọn bíi 15-20 tí mo sọ yẹn wọ́n á yan automatically becomes a member of the executive
go live
council.
Now, then we shut all these broadcasts.
Executive committee jáde. Alága, chairman, vice chairman, secretary, and the members of all those committees, they become members of the executive. Àwọn lájẹ́ executive. Ṣé ẹ̀ ń tinú bá mi lọ bẹ́ẹ̀? Now, tí èèyàn kan tán bá fẹ́ náwó yìí ṣé bá àti sọ̀bọ̀n ṣe ń gbà. For instance, káwọn kan sọ pé security làwọn àbí nǹkan kan náà fẹ́ náwó sí, they will call or apply to the executive pé wá ẹgbọ́n nǹkan báyìí ọwọ́ wa ò ká ní ẹgbẹ́ wa ní ṣẹlẹ́jẹ ẹ bá wa gbà àwọn á wò pé lóòótọ́ nǹkan tó ń sọ yìí ó máa nídìí àfojútó gbogbo wa dẹ̀ ní gbogbo àwọn ẹgbẹ́ tó ń pera wọn jọ sí wọ́n lè tó 100 wọ́n lè tó 200 bá ṣe ń lọ yìí omi pé wọ́n ti gbà nìyẹn wọ́n á sẹ́ǹdì ẹ̀ sí council ṣé ó dáa pé ọkàn sọ̀rọ̀ ṣé wọ́n fẹ́ẹ́ repeat ní kankan. Hello.
Okay, I'm coming now. Let's go downstairs back. It's mute. The minimum are on.
Hello.
Continue, sir. I'm going, sir.
Okay, Mike, no.
Ó dà pé ọkàn sọ kankan mọ́
That's am I sir?
Okay. Now, tá a bá wá ṣe yẹn tán, tá a consider the executive now will go to the council. But there is need for funding fún program yẹn. Tó bá jẹ́ nǹkan tí gbogbo ayé ò lè gbọ́ ni, we will call
as soon as I go live, I'm going to disconnect this one.
In camera la máa sọ. Tá bá ti approve ẹ̀, ìgbà ẹ̀ ni a ṣe máa send ẹ̀ sí accounting department. So ọ̀rọ̀ yìí pé ṣé ẹgbẹ́ yìí wà bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ tó bá jẹ́ member, you can see that kò sí layers tó ti approve owó yìí àbí tó ti máa sọ̀rọ̀ owó tọ̀rọ̀ rí wọ́n rí àrídálẹ̀. And besides that, the auditor's report will be made available, either formally or can request it. In which case, every month tó bá ti ready, àwọn tó jẹ́ members of the council will have their copies.
No, you can work. What do you want?
Apart from that copy, you can call, since you are a financial member, you can call for an auditor. Fún mi ní àkáǹtì mo fẹ́ lọ sọ fáwọn ẹgbẹ́ mi. So,
I'm almost set up.
Ẹgbẹ́ mi máa jẹ́ signatory. Gbogbo ẹgbẹ́ tó wà bẹ́ẹ̀ tí 71 71 organization yìí tó bá forúkọ lẹ̀ tó san application or initiation fee wọn 71 people dey check going to that would be cumbersome. That is why we put these things in a way that it will at least be transparent to everybody. So the most important thing is that ẹgbẹ́ yín tó bá fẹ́ ní ṣe ń bẹ̀ tó fẹ́ rí nǹkan tó ń ṣe ó máa ń sọ kankan wọ́n ní àìsíbẹ̀ ní àìdásí ẹni tí ò bá síbẹ̀ ò lè dá sí ẹni tí ẹnì kan sọ lọ́jọ́ yẹn nínú kan nínú lórí amóhùnmáwòrán ìpè àmọ́ nǹkan náà fẹ́ fowó ṣe tó wà you won't know if you are not a member of the YSDM. Yeah, Yoruba can lóòótọ́ because we expect that ẹnikẹ́ni tó bá jẹ́ pé Yorùbá nation yìí ló jẹ́ lógún. There is no reason tí ò lè fi jókòó pẹ̀lú wa kájíjọ tọ̀ síbi kan kó lè hó. Kò sẹ́ni tó yẹ kó sá sẹ́yìn because tó bá ti tásìkò kan mo máa ń pòwe kan pé kò sáwo láwo ẹ̀wà bí ò jẹ́ kó ajẹ́yọ̀ ló wà bẹ́ẹ̀. Kéèyàn kan ṣe wá sọ pé tèmi yàtọ̀ o nǹkan báyìí mo fẹ́ ṣe. I don't think that is helping us. Kò help wa because what will happen ni pé ìbá àwọn kéréje tó bá fọwọ́ sọ́dọ̀ ẹni yẹn owó yẹn bí ìgbà tí tó drop one mustard seed sínú òkun ni. It's not good. Ẹ̀ẹ́kan ní bí ìgbà tí ìyàwó èsì owó ni but tí gbogbo wa bá fọwọ́ sí tí owó pọ̀ tá a sọ pé nǹkan dá gbogbo wa ló ìgbà tí tọ̀wọ́ ṣẹlẹ̀ ṣe gbogbo wa ló mọ̀ nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ gbogbo wa ló mọ̀ nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ àmì sáà nǹkan tá a tẹ́gbẹ́ ìwà fún is not to discourage other people other organizations pé ẹ kó bá wọlé in fact afẹ́kẹ́ máa meet ní bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń ṣe meeting tẹ́lẹ̀ tẹ́ bá jíròrò bẹ́ẹ̀ ẹ wá sọ fún wa in fact as time goes on a máa devote time tó jẹ́ pé a máa call for report from your organization tó máa máa fún wa pé kílẹ̀ yín gbé ṣe o because a fẹ́ kó ṣe gbogbo wa káàkiri àwọn tó wà ní Germany wà ní Germany àwọn tó wà ní UK wà ní UK àwọn tó wà ní Ghana wà ní Ghana bó o la ṣe wá fẹ́ káàkiri ayé ṣe gbogbo wọn yẹn àwọn míì wà àwọn tó wà ní Nàìjíríà ló tẹ̀ ṣe lórí nǹkan tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀ mo máa pè wá pé báyìí ló ṣẹlẹ̀ o.
So I'm going live now.
Ibi tí àwa ti ibi tẹ́gbẹ́ ti yusuf nìyẹn tá a bá péjọ tá a jẹ mo máa ń sọ kíní kan màá fi ṣàpèjúwe ǹjẹ́ tí gbogbo Yorùbá kájẹ̀ ní 1 million lóṣooṣù kan máa fi $1 which is 600 naira ní Nàìjíríà kan ṣe kan fi sí inú àkáǹtì èdè lẹ́rù kó máa jẹ ní $1 ni mo sọ mi ò sọ pé $1. That would mean that every month Yorùbá àkáǹtì á ní $1 million. $1 million is 600 million. Tó bá ṣe lọ Nàìjíríà. Tàbá wa dé Nàìjíríà ṣe mi ò ní sọ̀rọ̀ púpọ̀ mo fẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ ronú sí nǹkan tá a lè fi ṣe.
Now we are ready to go live.
Àwọn kan ní àṣẹ máa lọ káńsù àwa tó ń ṣe ìyá àmọ̀ ṣé ìlú bíi tí gbogbo yín wà ṣé gbogbo aṣọ wọn tó bá ti dọ̀rọ̀ security ṣé inú òjò ṣé wọ́n máa ń sá lóòrùn wọ́n ò sá lóòrùn àwa yìí náà ń ṣọ̀dẹ̀. So èmi ò fẹ́ sọ̀rọ̀ púpọ̀ jù.
All right, I'm going to start shutting down this. So in another 1 minute, Emma Rington Lonnie the other side. Bye for now.
And say that àwa náà tá à ń ṣe yìí àwa náà ti wà nílùú àjèjì àti wà nílùú